Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make some magic card proxies. Uh, this really works for any trading card game, but I'm going to be using Magic the Gathering cards. That's what I primarily play. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy, very cheap, and can save you a lot of money and can help make the game just more fun in my opinion.
Okay, so what we're going to do is start by gathering images of all your cards. I like to use Architect. There's a handful of other programs you can use. Then we're going to go to the card and we're going to start saving the images of the card. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what program you use, just make it as easy as you can for yourself. So I'm going to save each image of each card one at a time, just saving it as with the right click, and I like to keep them all in a certain folder, for instance magic cards. That way it's just all very organized. It'll help you out a lot later. You're also going to want to make sure that you have a good quality image. It doesn't have to be the best, but as long as it doesn't look blurry on your computer screen, then it's probably going to look great as a printed card, so no worries there. So we're just going to go through here one at a time. I am going to touch on some proxy card etiquette later. Also, once I'm done saving a few of these, I'm going to show you how to put them into a collage and actually get them ready to print. Okay, so we're going to navigate over to befunky.com. Check it out. I actually saved it to my bookmarks. It's a really good collage making website that's online and free to use. So it's also a pretty safe website as well. So it checks all the boxes. Alright, now we're going to click Get Started, then Create a Collage. Alright, here you go. So we're going to do a few things. First of all, we're going to import some images. Click Computer. Now you're going to go and select 9 images, 9 cards to import them. You're going to want to make sure you keep yourself organized at this part so you don't get lost and add the same cards a bunch of times. After you select them all, then it will import it into the image manager on the left hand side. Alright, now we're going to click this button here to fill the collage automatically. Great. Now notice that the sizing is a little off, so we're going to adjust that. Go over here to the left and click Customize. Now we're going to bring the spacing down to 0. You don't want any spacing. Then you're going to want to click this drop down that says Freeform and change the aspect ratio to 5:7. Now switch the orientation to portrait, and boom, there you go. These are going to be the approximate size of almost any trading card. It's really great for magic cards. Like I said, it works for almost any trading card. They'll be ready to cut out as soon as you print them, and they'll slide right into almost any sleeve. So we're going to click Save at the top onto the computer. Pretty easy. Then you'll want to name each page. I name mine after my commanders. Then you want to make sure that your format is in JPEG and you have the quality size at the maximum. This is going to ensure you get a really good quality print. After it looks good and you got everything you need, you can save it. Boom. Now just rinse and repeat. You're going to do this for every card in the deck. To quickly get them out, you'll come back in here and we're going to click the button on the left hand side to remove them all. Then we will click the trash can to delete them all. Now, like I said, you want to keep yourself organized, so after this I would suggest deleting the 9 cards that you just put into a collage from your computer so you can't accidentally add them again. Then add the next 9 and repeat this process over and over until you have all the cards. Alright, let's make our way over to a print shop. I went to a Staples. You're going to get yourself one of these printers here and log in. Get the cards uploaded and select them. You're going to want to use the best print quality possible, so you can get the best color and the best outcome. Print as many copies as you want and select print. For something like this where you're only going to print 15-20 pages at most, you really aren't going to spend a lot of money. You're already saving so much money making the proxies, you might as well make them look as good as you can. So like I said, go for the good quality color. Alright, this thing finally finished calculating the job cost. As you can see, this batch of cards is only going to cost me $5 to print, or 4 and some change, not even $5. So really good deal here. So we're going to run it. This is also a good method to use just to load up on some basic lands or some go-to commander cards like soul rings and command towers. But as you can see, the printer knocked it out, and these cards look great. Look at those. They have full image quality. So now we're going to go to the cutting part. So when you're cutting these, you want to be pretty exact. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, obviously, but you also don't want to cut the card in half. I used one of these machines, but you can also just use scissors. However, this is much faster and easier. So I'm done cutting. These things look great. Now you're just going to want to take a card sleeve, slide an old card in there, or a basic land, or whatever you have plenty of, and then slide this over the top, and you're good to go. So this is my receipt from Staples. I spent about $12 on this and made about 120 proxies. It took me about 2.5 hours to do everything. That's like travel time, time saving the images, cutting, printing, etc. So overall, it's a great value, and it can help you keep playing, trying new strategies, and having fun. So I hope it helps.
I do want to lay out a disclaimer and some magic card proxy etiquette, if you will. So to put it simply, we are creating copies of these cards, and it's kind of walking a line creating the copies themselves. It's not really a big deal, but you obviously don't want to try to sell these cards to someone. That is breaking a couple laws and just really not a good thing to do. So it should go without saying, but don't create these copies to sell. You don't want to have like a whole deck of magic card proxies. When you're making a deck of magic cards to play, you want to at least have a couple real cards in there, you know? But if you're just taking this deck you just made to a card shop, or you're playing with some people you don't often play with, you want to really make sure that that crew of people are cool with proxies, number one. And if they are, you want to make sure that they are cool with how many proxies you might have in your deck. You know, if you have a couple proxies in your deck, and they're generally normal cards, like people might proxy a mana crypt, that type of stuff is usually acceptable, especially if someone's okay with proxies. If you're gonna go off and proxy a Black Lotus and then try to put that into a game, that's probably gonna cause some people to get a little bad taste in their mouth. And I mean, that's how you want to play the game, then that's fine. You know, you can play the game how you want. You just might end up losing some people that play in your pod with you because they're gonna be annoyed by it. So you know, it's just common courtesy and etiquette to see what people are down to play with and what level they're at, and also keep in mind when you're building a deck, you know, maybe don't proxy the $1,000 cards. I keep myself to a threshold. You know, the most expensive card I will proxy is like a mana crypt, and that's really the only one in that range. I try to keep myself under $30 or $40 cards, especially if I don't own a copy. You know, if I own a copy, sometimes I'll be more lenient. Ultimately, making magic card proxies should be a thing that you do for fun, as a way to experiment and hopefully save some money. If you're gonna take the next step and just try to create these unbeatable decks and then smash everybody on the first couple turns, then maybe that's fun for you and that's great, but you're gonna lose some friends that way. And that's really not what the game is about, in my opinion. So you gotta find that line that you and your pod of players are comfortable with, and then you walk that line. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be making more content like this, so please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions.